It is pleasure and privilege to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister of India and Honorable Chief Justice of India to this joint conference of Chief Ministers of States and Chief Justices of High Courts. I extend my warm welcome to the distinguished judges of the Supreme Court, Chief Ministers, Chief Justice of High Courts, and other dignitaries also who have joined us today to deliberate upon the pressing issues facing the justice delivery system in the country. This reflects the commitment of government and judiciary to move ahead at a faster pace towards providing timely, affordable, and quality justice to citizens of this great nation. I would like to thank Honorable Chief Minister of India for wholeheartedly supporting us in this initiative. As per information available with us, central government and state governments have together spent money during last 3 years on development of judicial infrastructure. I am glad to inform this august gathering about working strength of judges or judicial officers. With a number of projects in hand, we are aiming at construction of more courts in the near future to match availability with sanctioned strength in every state. Despite of considerable increase in the sanctioned strength of the high courts and the district courts in the recent past, the persistence of a large number of vacancies of judges and judicial officers is an area of concern. I would urge the High Courts to adopt a proactive approach in selection of the suitable candidates for various judicial positions. As you are aware, the protracted nature of litigation in the country has an adverse impact on investor sentiments. In order to assuage these concerns and as part of the government's continuous efforts to forge investor friendly environment in country, the government has initiated a number of steps including setting up of commercial courts and amendments to Arbitration and Consolidation Act 1996 and Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. These initiatives are instructionally linked to speeding up the dispute resolution process. Concerns regarding the inordinate delays in conclusion of criminal trials have been expressed by various parliamentary committees. Over the years, the government has established committees under experts to review the criminal justice system in order to make it more responsive to the needs of the society. Some of the recommendations of these committees have been implemented and incorporated in the procedural laws. Law Commission of India is reviewing both substantive and procedural aspects of our criminal justice system. I have requested the Chairman Law Commission to expedite their recommendations in this regard. As per data compiled by the National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) at the end of 2014, There were about 2.82 lakh under trial prisoners in jails. This situation prevails despite amendments in Criminal Procedure Code for release of under trial prisoners on personal bond who have spent half of their maximum sentence. The eCourt Integrated Mission Mode project was launched with objective of improving access to justice with help of technology. It aims at setting up of centralized filling centers, digitations of documents, adoption of document management systems, creation of e-filing and e-payment gateways. However, there is lack of awareness about the potential of e-court project among the judges as well as public at large. I would urge upon Chief Justices of the High Courts to not only sensitize the members of the judiciary to utilize full potential of technological advancements being made, but at the same time dissentiment necessary information about services being provided to public at large. At present, the National Judicial Data Grid NJDG provides summary of pending and disposed cases at the district and subordinate court level. Stop.